The depressing music we just had there is to say there could be an end for some of these Pro League teams, as these contenders teams are looking damn
That's
good.
what it was. They were filming like,
Bang.
do you feel safe in PEL? Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because these guys are coming for you.
There's some heavy hitters
It's just like,
coming to take your spot.
we have to play Kickoff Cup. What is going on here?
Could be the end of the line for some of them. No, I have no
Yeah,
idea what
you
that was
never
going
know.
on. We were just watching it and going, this is pretty depressing.
The music was kind of building up, and I was like, where's the drop? And then we cut to us.
There was no drop.
yeah,
there was no
the drop never came.
It wasn't like some of my happy hardcore kind of rave music that I'm constantly playing around and annoying Toby in our house.
It's the you're dropping out of PEL kind of music.
Yeah, end of the world.
Whenever they're like,
All hope is
whenever
lost.
they go into the airport, they'll be playing it while they wait for the studio. Goodbye, guys. See you.
I have
next
to wait
time.
until next season to see if I can qualify again. No, enough poking fun at the teams there. That threw me off completely. We get some of the best. We've got the beeping one now. We've got the super pumped one. We've got
the depressive one.
We've got the one which we don't know what they're saying because we have no idea what language it is. He could be swearing for all we know.
Oh yeah, the Finnish one. Yep. The wind strike one for sure. And then this one. That's. I mean, I don't feel like had the players looked sad too. That would have made sense.
Dude, they should have just found all these losing teams.
It's like where they just sit like.
Start completely losing it and just play that across all of it.
That is interesting.
I love the little filler stuff we have here.
It's great. It's great.
Gives me multiple times of amusement. But we're getting into the game.
That was the entire film for us,
the whole pre-game was us about the video. Oh dear, Toby, what is happening to us?
I don't know. We're having too much fun.
That's always a good thing. Though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is important. I hope that you guys out there are too. If you are, then feel free to share the joy in the chat. Whatever you've done today that makes you happy, let us know. Swarm, they're going to be jumping onto the plane early on. As we know, they tend to do these things. When it's a northern plane, they'll be chilling out up north. Elgiganten, they'll get South George to themselves. Where, oh where are you going, Tarlans? I'm sitting around and looking for you. And seems like, despite me saying, Prim, good call, guys. Go there. That's a good idea. They've now said, Toby, we heard what you said. We didn't get the place when we wanted, so we're going to go back to the same drop that we've done before.
And it's not one that had massively worked out from previously on Erangel, which is the bit where I'm scared of for him. 4AK and Moonwolf won't have Tornado rolling through military base to get to where they want. They'll have no problem making the spot. Winside will be looking and thinking, oh, we got a bit more room over here. We don't have to worry about a Primor's team this time around. And Georgia Pole goes back to its semi-crowded, pretty okay spot overall. Not too
that's plenty of room.
And I know we've seen this before, right? Marga always goes off and he's on his own. But this is the point where it stopped working out for Tarlans because he just got caught at every rotation.
Yeah. Now the circle goes somewhat similar to what we saw before.
Okay.
Not as far north, of course, so we don't know whether it's going to go north of the river and the Yasnaya or whether it'll commit down south. But one thing there is for sure is, and this is the exact situation that I'd like to talk about in this, Tarlans, the way they're sitting right now, first of all, it's not even guaranteed that they have vehicles. Because we know Art of War likes to drop over around the compound just north, like the garage compound just north up there. There's a vehicle spawn there. Then you have one compound with a vehicle spawn down south, but then it would be Panko and Moonlight running over for that vehicle together in the open with teams at both sides that could potentially go for kills there, and then drive off from there without being spotted. So they would potentially have to drive over. Interesting. That looks kind of like, I don't even know.
About to say, who are you going to say looks like that? Just insult them dramatically.
No, but they would have to split each way because Maga, there's no way he's going to rotate south on this. He's already sitting up in cube. He can just go north around. That's easy peasy for him. Ermac could go up to him as well. But there's, again, no guaranteed vehicle spawn for Ermac either. So why sit in this split especially? I mean, had teams been looting differently around them, sure, you could have rotated over bridges and that would have been safe enough. But with the way the other teams are looting around them, I feel like this is a unnecessarily risky split that they don't have to go for.
Well, let's see if it can work out for them. As Moonwolf got themselves into the containers. They'll be happy and chilling there for the meantime. They've got all of the Novo to play around, but Oko is slightly split apart from them, gives them all the loot they want and information. And I really want to see what Moonwolf can do throughout the rest of the day. You've now had the wins of the last two games we've seen on separate days as well, which meant there was no slowing down, no momentum lost for these guys.
They could have flown all the way to Multa Power, but yeah, I mean, it would have been a bit of a stretch, and also them knowing that Tornado Energy would land before them, potentially get guns, and there'd just be the anti-air kind of guns taking
picking them apart.
Yeah, we've fortunately yet to see that. Maybe we'll jinx it now for the next game, where people they parachute and then they get shot out of the air. That's maybe where that sad music has to be played whenever that happens.
Can we get that as like a sound cue? whenever it happens.
That's what we need.
Now, PG18 didn't have the greatest of games last time around. 10th place is nothing to be shy of, but they were engaging in fights and not always coming out on top. We've praised them consistently for what they've been able to do as a team overall, but they're still not completely safe with their points just yet.
No.
So they need to ensure that these games start to have a bit of impact towards their performance and their overall points that they're able to gain here.
The thing with the previous game was that the way we know that they like to play in the hills up in the northern side or southern side of. That block.
Oh, you're slow. No, that's not what you want. Oh.
One more tap. Not gonna happen with her. He's got to figure out with himself though if he want to stick around for much longer. Because now they're all out of the vehicles. Nope, he's gonna try and make a run for it. But where do you drive here? He's completely surrounded. And what I was gonna say, never mind.
Still going on. They're not done yet.
Stop shooting, goddammit.
Every time Toby wants to talk, Desperado say, "No, shut up, Toby. We're ready to take some shots. We're ready to bring some action to Metralius, who is literally not sure where he wants to go. He's driven backwards and forwards between the Desperado players. He's done a nice bit of damage to them, but he is heavily outnumbered.
And you see now Ermac here on your small screen in the corner. He wanted to go up to Maga. We talked about this before. I want to get that safe rotation to my friend, but nope, it ain't gonna be possible. Elgiganten is already there securing the spot, and now all of a sudden you're unnecessarily split from one another. This is exactly what I was talking about coming into this one.
And this is where I'm worried for Stella, right? Yesterday wasn't exactly the greatest game. They had a 13th place here today, and now they've walked away with having multiple games that have not gone their way. Yet
Yeah.
they were the standout team of the first week.
Trying to go back to the point and make to begin with Frelius, don't start shooting people, is that for both PG18 that we talked about just before and Stella as well, this last game, they like to play that hillside on the west. We saw Stella how they split with the yellow house, how they split with the gas station, and then the circle just kept going east. And when they were playing from the open, we talked about it, we saw it, they stopped to try and take shots. Stella, when they had to make the rotation, they just got picked apart. Nothing they could do there. I'm seeing them bounce back on this one, both of them actually.
Well, let's hope that is the case, at least if you are a fan of those teams. But Tornado, they'll be looking to make some big marks once again. They're clearly hitting the shots today. Can they get up on there in the placements? They're sat in first place. There's no one really contesting them for it just yet. Desperado and Moonwolf want to be hot on their heels with it, but even when Tornado allowed them that stretch to come into it, Tornado then turned around and got that game where even though they only came second, they still walk away with a ton of points, 20 in total.
Let's see, Tarlans, they're split far apart. My guys in the compound out east, or northeast of, or northwest, sorry, of Rossock. And then you have Ermac, Moonlight, and his teammate down there south. They could potentially have done some damage towards PG as they came rotating through, but no shots are going to be fired from Ermac. I don't think Ermac has a vehicle down there either, so either Moonlight has to go and pick him up, and they have to be 3-in-1 vehicle rotating into the circle, or he's going to stick around and wait for the next one, potentially hoping for it to go west. 4 AK making their rotation on over the bridge as well. We've seen Winside before sitting around down here and wait for them, but this time around they're by themselves. Thought it was safe and they realized that it is 2 in Silencio. Reload that gun. See if you can get some damage done over towards Savage. Not gonna happen though on Ermac, as we talked about before. Running around by himself. Did seem like he had a vehicle though. Ooh, is he gonna spot them out? Yes, he is. But is he gonna shoot? Nope, doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, bide his time. Don't try and take some shots where you are still quite exposed.
Yeah.
Yes, you've got Moonlight and one of your other teammates nearby, but Margot is quite far away. Winside, they're going to be wanting to change things up a little bit here. They don't want to allow the same kind of fate to happen to them. They had that western or northwestern rotation on the previous game that didn't work out for them.
Deeks has been shot at by multiple teams now rotating through here. The Elgiganten guys in general has, and that was a big one, taking him down to about half HP.
And that's what can happen, right? You may not get picked off, but when you're taking that damage, you then have to spend some extra meds on these rotations coming in. There's still a lot of the unknown quantity with it of, okay, how much is this going to affect us in the later part of the game?
Also, you cannot just stop and heal. I mean, you got to keep driving, right? You got to keep driving if you're out in the open. And who's to say what other teams are waiting further up ahead? So even though one team only gets you hit once, that could be enough damage done for the next guy to be the one to take you down. Now, Nail Up does go down. It's down by the Wizard Tower. He's actually going to get flushed as well. Misa securing the kill there. Quickmath there, really, really thinly split. You see Pelty Shop north, you have in Silencio in the gas station, and then you have the Tuho Yuho and Misa duo down south by the water. This is an interesting thin split, and they're not expecting, I guess, teams to be this close towards them.
And Salenso waiting for it, spots them out. Art of War, they went out with no points in the end. 15th place finish for them on the final game. They will not be wanting that to happen again here, especially as things did turn around to them towards the end of week 1.
Yes. I was just thinking for a second what you said. It didn't make sense, but now it did.
I just meant that like the beginning of week 1 wasn't awful.
No, I agree.
But then it certainly became a bit scary, and they did well again. And then now we've seen them struggle going into this week.
Yeah. Now they are on the right side of the water, though. This one just hard shifted northwest, and this is not going to be easy for a lot of these teams. For the most of them, make that rotation over Yasnaya, north around up over Stalber, because you do not want to catch yourself caught in the bridge.
Look at all these teams making their way across. But who's going to be the first team to sit there and wait for the spray downs to come in on these rotations? Because at the moment, it's just a driving simulator for most of them.
That's what it is right now. Everybody's realizing that this circle did not go where any of them wanted, most likely at least. No, he does go down. Holy cow! Drone, that's a headshot if I've seen one.
Drone is feeling hella good right now at landing those shots. That's how you get it done.
Wow, that was impressive. And Misa going down because of it. And look at this swarm. They're full on crashing in towards this one. And now Pelsic goes down too. We talked about the split being thin. We talked about them taking a lot of priority spots that other teams would want to contest should the circle come towards them. And in all honesty, Quickmath just were not in a position to really counter that.
No, that was happening way too fast for him. Broken being tapped out here. They're trying to keep him up. They want to be able to get the revive off. They want to keep their team nice and strong here as Coldamenta going to find himself going down. Savage has been run over, though.
I like how Calvin just drove through that one thing. You know what? Stop shooting. I'll just doink, tap you over, and then I'll keep on running. But seems like he will indeed get rest back on up.
Edukos come in there against Gifted Rue, which means Moonwolf are going to at least pick up another point regardless for this. Yannick spraying onto the Stellar players. They jump down on all directions. He is heavily under pressure. He's trying to go in for the finish off. He did not have a clue what he wanted to do in that situation. Yeah. He just panic sprayed out in multiple directions, and he will be punished for it. Nemerif is not going to engage in this. It is just not worth it. Deez, you need to get the hell out of there, buddy.
There were people everywhere, and he tried to do damage, but not going to happen in the end, unfortunately for him. It's going to be a tough break for the PG team. They lost a player earlier in Nail-Up, and now they're under pressure once more. Only Cass and Odis and Nemerith left remaining.
Don't hang around here too long if you're PG-18. Yeah. Buster ends up knocking his teammate down. We see it time and time again. This is not what you want, and
especially when you're rotating miles out in the blue. That's
yeah, you're
not
still
the
in the blue.
Look where they are. I mean, they're all the way down by Gatka. That is not the kind of place you want to catch yourself resing up.
You're going to be the last team coming through.
Oh, yeah. But that's not something that's too scary for them. Se7en, they can play off of that. It's not the biggest deal.
It's
but
what they prefer, but I mean,
yeah.
In terms of the time they're wasting in this, means that as they push forward, there's little information they'll have. Luckily, otherwise it's further forward.
As you see in the bigger picture, Moonwolf doing their wide rotations out east once more. Of course, we still have this Stella/PG skirmish going on. You can see them trying to hold off one another. Just a friendly neighbor.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, game. I don't know.
Just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man fighting off against each other. But they've made a lot of noise, both these teams, so it won't be long until other teams start to get closer to their spots to fight from. As Tozera's working his way up, VG players are not too far away. The Dexo's car would have been heard, and Tozera starts to run out a little bit.
Yeah, trying to see if he can catch them off on rotations. Already got one, and this circle is just really, really committed to that western side. There is a hilltop there. You can sit around, and if you go all the way up to shooting range, you have some ground to cover as well. Only thing being, should this next one shift back out east, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's going to be really, really difficult for these guys to play around, because there's literally only room for 3 or 4 teams on the eastern side out there.
And you've got Swarm and For Us getting close to shooting range if they want to fight from there. Memo. Oh, no. Oh, God, that was awkward. Luckily, Tony Sosa comes in with the headshot on the Hugstar. Hugstar will go down from Elgig, but Memo, the pre-fire, was a little bit too strong in that. PG-18, though, they'll be our first team going down, and they have been fighting non-stop, but it's not worked out from, and Vinco is closely following.
They were starting their rotations, and they were taking too much time, so Sarah already took down one of them, and they were driving around in the same area for too long and allowed for all the teammates and Fake, Coldamenta, and Calvin to make their way on up that. Oh, Pango, I was seeing that one connect. I was waiting for it to connect, but unfortunately not quite the case.
Tarlans still up with 4 players, though, despite the split that we weren't too sure on just exactly how they were going to try and make it work, because it hadn't worked too well for them in the past.
Yeah.
And more down to be proven wrong if they can execute it correctly. 4AK going to be quite happy with how that circle walked. They were just getting inside, and then it pops towards them. 7 still on the outskirts, though. Tornado looking for the hillside on shooting range, like you mentioned earlier.
You see Phantom trying to hold the angle over towards Swarm right now. It's just a house battle. Nobody's going to leave, even though they get the knocks in here. The only thing is, though, even when you're sitting in the way 3D Max are right now, if you get knocked, sure, Swarm won't push you, but there's always that team coming from elsewhere that see the third party, and they want a third party on it. Edelweiss spots out Millman. Once again, Se7en Tornado. The magnet is back on.
This time they're just going to trade out for now. Melman heavily under pressure, but there's other teams looking to take it away from him. It's Metralius is able to do it for us. We'll take that.
Krabik goes down too, and just before in that engagement, so that's going to be them losing a player and a kill point.
Oh!
Yep, he does get taken down. Lassa securing the kill from afar.
The timing there, Lars able to chime through the smoke with some shots, and he does make him connect. And 7 now have to work out how much do we really want to commit to this.
Yeah, there's a big area in the center of this circle that's literally unplayable. It's really, really open down towards those compounds. There's no cover there whatsoever. You can see the area that these guys are driving in now as well, really open out in the east, and that's why these teams, they'll be playing the edge, they'll be waiting for that blue to be right on their backs before they're going to start their rotations. At this point, you got to take for granted every compound that you don't have is taken.
Yeah.
There's no spots left available. That's got to be the way you're playing it. No matter what you push, no matter where you go, you have to be ready to fight as soon or even before you get out of your vehicle.
Yeah, we're in the information age, and the problem is there's not a lot of information that some of these teams have to play off, right? Because
Exactly.
they got no satellites looking down like we have on the map to say, yeah, this is clear. This is going into the unknown as we go again towards the west. Moonwolf have only just got inside the circle. Some of them still not inside the circle. And every time it's gone further away from them. They came from the far east.
And they're not going to catch a break off of this one whatsoever. Art of War, Elgiganten, Winside, and Desperados in the exact same position. They will have to hard commit to it. You cannot just run around here on the edge. Look at this, it's Alenzo.
Oh.
He tried to make the push over towards his teammate Suayuho. But look at the field. You can see it with Cass right there. Look at the field they have to traverse through in order to get into safety. And the thing is, you're not safe once you cross the road. You have to continue up the hill. That's going to mean you driving slower. It's going to mean you being in a really rough situation. Let's see, though, what's going to happen. Tossera does go down. So a little kill confirmed there for Moonwolf. Caught in the shack with a practically burning vehicle.
He's taking a big risk if he wants these shots to come out.
We do say great risks do sometimes come with great reward, and at least for now he's able to stay alive. You can see, I believe it was Edelweiss down the hill there. Get taken down, and Frank trying to stay put. Fake goes down. It's going to be Uncle finishing him off, and also once again now for us engaging in fights, taking casualties this time around. The Co-Fist with an 8 in distance.
Moonwolf, though, all things considered, are getting off to a good start, considering how long their rotation has been and how difficult it was.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming in from the northern side, and they do have some cover there. Now they have made their way up to the shack, but there's no way for them to leave here. That's the issue.
Waggo hitting those shots. The Swarm trying to pull up on the compound. The question is, can 3D Max hold them at bay? The nades are ready. Drones up close. Phantom goes down. He does not expect the player that near. The headshots are landed, and Waggo now, he's got a tough decision to make. Drone can go on the hunt. Season got up the stairs, and he's going to do all the damage. That's 2 quick finish-offs coming in for Drone, and he's going to be loving life right now.
He's going to be loving the fact that he never had to reload that gun in all of that engagement. He was abusing the fact that the other guys had to back off to get more bullets in the chamber, because he was just spraying on through with the M24. Now Tony, wow, back in the good old Counter-Strike days, bringing that AK full-on spray down in with full style.
Art of War looking to make up for the disappointing result in game 1, and they've just ended it for Stella once again. Jamboy went down much earlier on, but now the whole team goes out in 14th place.
See Calvin now trying to stay put, last player alive. There are placements to grind. That's normally the thing. Normally, I've had some players, and they tend to say 30, 35 is when you... Because if you're the solo player with 50 alive, it's like, how in the universe? I'm not going to do anything anyway. I'm just going to try and see if I can get kills, some sort of points with it. But when you're down to those 25, 30 players, that's when you say, are we within 8 teams now? Could I maybe just survive one more team and get one more point here? Would that be smarter than potentially taking shots and going out because of it? So I think Calvin, he has a lot of decisions to make in whether he's going to play ultra passive, or if he sees a knock somewhere, try and go for it.
Kill points versus placement points, and What do you think you can get done? How are you finding your own ability? As Washout taking a couple of shots there. He's got plenty of cover, so it's not a problem for him. And his teammates are close by.
In a world where the world hates us, it goes east. Because look at this. There's this compound, and then it's just open. Tuho has a one-story yellow plank house, and that's all the cover they're gonna get. You do have a shack far out east and a bit of a hill, but that's everything.
Tarlans have been able to hold this position for so long now, and
It goes north.
northeast-ish. It's not terrible.
For those of you guys who don't know the terrain here, pretty much from where Moon is sitting right now, it's just a downhill slant towards Tuho and down to the flatlands where Swarm is sitting. Really, really hard area to fight in, and it's not going to be easy for any of these teams to push on through here.
But if you're in the north, you're loving life. You're swarming 3D Max at the moment.
And if you're Tuho right now, you need to anticipate a full 4-man team crashing you in any moment.
I'm just waiting for the noise to come towards me.
Yeah, he has to. The thing is, a lot of these teams, so they left their vehicles a while ago and tried to push in towards shooting range on foot. So those vehicles might be miles out in the blue now.
Yep.
Ford 7, Ford Tornado Energy, they don't have vehicles anymore, so they're on foot. Same thing, I believe, for Force. And also, you gotta anticipate that there are teams nearby you. So you cannot just go full YOLO mode in those vehicles all the time. These guys, they're on the edge and they know it. They're just going to be sitting around and waiting for teams to come
like,
their way.
Who's coming to us first?
Got 2 blown up vehicles. Great cover, but it ain't going to allow them to rotate anywhere wherever the next circle goes.
Tornado looking to try and push up here onto the 4-Us players. We've got a good 2-2 split here with Apocalypse being in the hut as well. So in terms of positioning and how they might be able to work this, if they can land the shots, they could be doing a good amount of damage here to Tornado as Compot's the first one getting knocked out.
I like the splitting from Tornado Energy as well, but it's getting abused hard. But now, as I say that, though, Example and Combat do come in, do some damage. But Thralis and Apocalypse still up, though, and they need really now to do damage in return. Is this Calvin shooting? Yes, it is. Shooting from afar gets the finish up. We talked about him. If you see a knocked player, do you go for the kill or do you try and sneak your way up? Calvin, there's no way in hell he's going to sneak around. He's going to go for the damage immediately.
Oh, they get brought back up. An example, he shoots, but he can't manage to land the shot. He'll find himself going down as well. We've also got this fight going on here between Elgig and Moonwolf as Tornado will find themselves off the back of a really solid first game, out in 13th.
Not a whole lot more they could do. The positioning from Force ended up standing too strong, and then a little bit of help coming in from Calvin below forced them to focus elsewhere for a second. And that's all the guys in Force needed to take him down. Moon, though, that compound, or that vehicle gave him cover for the longest of time, but no more, no more. All these teams are pushing on forward.
Yeah, 4AK now trying to make out as they've seen all the shots going on. Winside have gone down in 12, and another team could be soon to follow because it is just spray downs and gunshots on the entirety of the map right now.
Art of War positioning themselves really well on the south side. They knew there was no team in the field to take them out. They were scouting the compound that Tuho is in. He's not going to go aggressive in anything, and they knew we can sit here, we can start shooting, and these guys will eventually run into each other. So a lot of third-party damage coming in from them there.
Do you know as well, Frank? He made it past 4-Us, Desperados, and Tornado while they were all fighting. He just crept in and went, hi, thanks guys.
Look at this circle though. We talked about going out into the open. I think you can count on 2 hands how many trees are left in this one. It's going to be extremely hard for all these teams to fight around and play a sly Art of War. The entire team knows this now. They do have vehicles, and this is what Tuho has been waiting for.
Whoa.
When are those vehicles coming? That's going to be now.
Northwest jumping around, trying to find himself a bit of space, but multiple shots coming out towards him. Tarlans do find themselves going down in 11th. They can't hold on any longer. And Tuho completely pinned down. They're pushing onto the house. There's nades going out. Tony's working his way all the way around the side. Wants to finish him off, and that's them done.
Tuho knocked both Rip and Memo. Great effort considering that he was getting third-partied himself too when he was trying to get out of that building. Desperados do go down. Calvin tried as much as he could, but goes down just outside of placement points. Memo now will be taken out. Running will secure the kill. And this is 4AK again. We talked about them on Miramar yesterday, how well they played it there. We haven't seen a whole lot from them as far as Erangel. They did have 1 win, I believe, in the first week. Nail us. That was a good way of denying points there.
Explosions and explosive endings with cars. Elgig, they do manage 8th place. They'll get a point off that, plus whatever kills. So
look at this push.
Nixty's out in the open. Shots come towards him from Ben. Drops down the smoke. Looks to try and fight this in some way. Takes an extra pop shot, but he can't make it connect yet. He's just continuing to think, what is around me? How can we move forward? My teammates are here as well, but they are getting taken down.
There is so little and close to no cover whatsoever for these guys. And they're getting third party from all over the place. Next, he's down already. Northwest been finished off. Havaki is trying to prone on down. Force have great vision, but Swarm are coming in here. Moonwolf as well starting to third party the engagement. And all of a sudden, Lass has all that's left of them.
Getting picked apart. Lazo is going to struggle now to work his way in. They've been doing so much damage, but it's not going to work out. 4AK, and next one's down.
Gotta give props to Moonwolf. Once again, they had a rough rotation coming in. They made their way up to the bunker. They got themselves into a decent spot. Now Force go down in sixth place as well. But they make the room they need. Moonwolf, they know no one's on their back now. Sure, they're playing from a tough position, but they have made their way into the top 5 for the 3rd game in a row.
And Frank, still prone. Still chilling, still completely on his own, as is Hidrick, by the way. So 3D Max got flushed by Swarm, and then he just forgot Hidrick was there. So I guess he just didn't make any noise, but he's been chilling behind him for so long now.
Swarm did shoot over towards him, and I think he did shoot back at one point. So I think they know that he's there.
Okay,
just
good. As long as they know.
There's no way in risking it, because there's no way in hell he's going to push them. So as long as that's not happening, if they can clear everything south of them and then have a 4v1 in the end, happy days. And the circle does hard shift towards the compound. We talked Swarm, we talked about how Aliyah has made smart ridgeline plays, and now he's making the push on out towards Moonwolf once again. Swarm goes up towards, Circle goes up towards Swarm. And, well, I mean, they got themselves a win on the first day of Erangel. And we'll see if they can get themselves one more. Drone, good shot up towards Akko.
Swarm are doing a very good job of controlling this. They've now got the full northern circle. As long as they're aware of Hidrick being behind them, they should be able to keep a lot of teams at bay trying to come in. Moonwolf, they are going to struggle with this as well because they've got 3 players up, but one of them is already knocked down, and that's Okko, who's been quite the heavy hitter for him. If they can revive him and try and push in, even getting inside the circle, there's just not a lot of room. It's completely open. They will be seen by Swarm straight away, and that's what Drone's looking at. He's like, I know you got to come to me, so I'll just wait it out.
And he's just sitting in there with this M249 saying, vehicles, come my way. I will blow you up for sure. No way in hell you're going to be making that push on out. And out of war now, they will have to make the leave here. Where do they go? You have the rock formation up in front of you. You can see Tony is getting into the vehicle now too, but that's the only car they have. Oh, they do actually have a Dasha down in front there that they can make a move with. Going down toward that rock formation. Should be inside the circle.
Still shots being exchanged between Moonwolf and Swarm. Moonwolf also trying to fire up against Art of War here. Rip's taking some damage.
They know that that's the position that's going to be
Frank, he sprayed out onto their car. He's blown it up. Tony knows exactly where it is. The spray down comes in. The control from Tony. He's still not able to hold on to it. Frank gets the job done, but he'll only get a knock, and 7 go down in 5th.
And Drone steals the kill off of it too. This is going to be their spot to sit in. I think Moonwolf are going to be throwing nades all over the place. Aliyah is out of the compound once more, and look at Hidrick. Still just grinding those placement points as best as he can, and he even starts knocking people on the hill on the opposite side now.
He's technically helping out Swarm at this point. Hidrick's like, I may as well help. You know what? I've done nothing for a while.
Gets the finish off too. Good positioning for him to secure himself the finish. You can see Aliyah wants these kills.
Hidrick just got bored, man. He's like, I've made it top 4. I'll take it.
My Spotify playlist is done, guys. I need to start doing something. Oh, wow. It bounced off the player, and I'm pretty sure Akko spotted that. Or not Akko, but oh, it was Akko.
It was Akko. Akko ran away and died.
Blue. Yeah.
He saw what was going on. He knew it was going to be a tough time, so he just ran out of there. And now we have Art of War, 3D Max, and the Swarm in our top 3. The Swarm looking for another win here, and they are in a prime position to do it, Toby.
You said you wanted to see Art of War do something. You said you wanted to see them step up because we've been missing them for a while.
Yep.
This, guys, is your chance. You can hold 2 players off in this rotation. Sure, you're going to be in the open, but if you can get these 2 players down before they cross, it's going to be a 3-on-2 in your favor.
Talk. Eventually, you need to be careful because Ben has got you completely pinned there. He's looking. He wants to land these headshots. The smoke's being put across so that Swarm can take the compound that is still within the circle, which just gives them more to work with here.
They need to get a knock here. They cannot allow for the full 4 team to push across. They don't have any place to play from. That's the issue. They're under fire edge of the circle. They have to move further forward. Right now, they're exposed to 2 windows. You can see all of Swarm. They're like, Hidrick, you have to come now. The circle is closing.
Hidrick's contemplating every life decision.
No, I don't want to. Let me stay. It worked out so well up until this point.
Now, Ben and Rip, what do they want to do here? They're in the circle. They know exactly where to look. Hidrick now taking some shots. He knocks Ben down. No way. he has continued to be such a nuisance to the other teams. He is helping the Swarm out at the same time and getting himself some kill points. Rip's not looking to take the shots just yet. He's going to wait to see him go out to the blue by the looks of it. Will take the final shot, does land it, which will give them another kill. That's 10 in total now for Art of War. But now you're in a 1v4 and Swarm, they're coming out, they're running forward and saying, Rip, nice to see you, buddy. We know you're up here. We may as well just split. And look at the perfect formation. One player in the back, 3 pushing up forward, and they're just covering all the ground they can. Rip manages to get 1 knock in, though, but that's all he's going to be able to get, and that's a win for Swarm with 9 kills. Their 3rd win overall, and they are still quite far out the standings for top 8.
I'm realizing what song Hitpick was playing in this. It's a He was just wrecking dreams for all these other teams trying to contest.